They called her barren, but they didn't know someone had tied her womb in secret. The cry of the empty womb. In the quiet village of Omaka, where the wind carried secrets through rustling palm trees and every compound had a story, lived a woman named Adana. Adana was beautiful in a way that made people look twice. Tall, smooth dark skin, and eyes that once held laughter. But now those eyes carried a silent sorrow that even smiles couldn't hide. She had been married to Obina for 7 years. 7 long years and no child. At first it was love. Obina adored her. He would return from farm with roasted corn and say, "My wife must eat first before the world." Adana would laugh, resting her head on his shoulder, believing their happiness was complete. But in the village, happiness without a child is seen as incomplete. The whispers began slowly. At the stream, women would lower their voices when she approached. "That is her, the one with the dry womb." At the market, other women would shake their bead. Beauty is nothing if it cannot produce a child. Adana had it all, even when they thought she didn't. Months turned into years. Her mother-in-law, Mama Obina, stopped hiding her displeasure. One evening, as Adana served her food, the old woman pushed the plate away. "What use is this food when my lineage is about to end?" Adana froze. "Mama, I'm trying." "Trying?" The old woman snapped. "Does a tree try to bear fruit? It either does or it is cut down." Those words cut deeper than any knife. Obina tried to defend her at first. "Mama, leave my wife alone. God's time is the best." But even he began to change. He grew quieter, distant. Sometimes Adana would wake up in the night and find him sitting outside, staring into darkness. "What are you thinking?" she would ask softly. He would sigh, "Nothing." But she knew it wasn't nothing. Desperate, Adana sought help everywhere. She drank bitter herbs from village herbalists. She prayed in churches miles away. She fasted until her body trembled. Still nothing. Each month came with hope and left with tears. Then came the day everything changed. It was during the New Yam festival. The entire village gathered, dressed in bright colors, drums beating, children laughing. But Adana stayed indoors. She could not bear the sight of mothers carrying babies on their backs. Suddenly, she heard shouting outside. "Obina has taken a second wife." Her heart stopped. The room spun. She rushed outside, her wrapper barely tied properly. And there he was, Obina, standing beside a younger woman. Beautiful, fertile looking, smiling sheeply. Mama Obina beamed with pride. "At last, my son will have a child." Adana's world shattered in that moment. That night, she did not cry. She sat in silence, staring at the wall. Obina entered the room slowly. "Adana," she raised her hand. "Don't." Her voice was calm, too calm. 7 years, Obina. 7 years I carried this shame for us. I drank everything, prayed everywhere alone. He said nothing. And today you replace me like a broken pot. "You are still my wife," he said weakly. She laughed. A painful, hollow laugh. "No, I'm just the woman who came before the child." Days passed. The new wife, Chioma, quickly became the center of attention. When she got pregnant, barely 2 months later, the village erupted in celebration. Songs were sung, gifts were given, and Adana became invisible. One evening, unable to bear it any longer, Adana walked to the edge of the village. There was an old shrine, there abandoned, feared. People said spirits still lingered. She stood before it, tears finally streaming down her face. "What did I do wrong?" she cried. "Why me?" The wind blew fearlessly, as if responding. Then an old woman appeared from nowhere, bent, wrinkled, eyes sharp like fire. "You seek answers," the woman said. Adana stepped back, startled. Who are you? Someone who hears what the world ignores. The woman studied her. You are not barren, Adana frowned. Don't mock me. Your womb is not empty, it is tied. Those words sent chills down her spine. Tied? By who? The old woman leaned closer. Not all enemies are strangers. That night, Adana could not sleep. Her mind raced. Who could do such a thing? Then it hit her. Mama Obina. The strange herbs she insisted Adana drink in the early days. The way she always controlled everything. Could it be? The next morning, Adana returned to the shrine. Help me, she begged the old woman. The woman nodded slowly. Truth comes with a price. Are you ready? Adana didn't hesitate. Yes. What followed shocked the entire village. Through rituals and revelations, it was uncovered that Mama Obina had indeed tied Adana's womb. Years ago, she feared Adana's influence over her son. She wanted control, even over the children yet unborn. The village was thrown into chaos. Mama Obina denied it at first, but the truth could not be hidden. Obina was devastated. Mama, how could you? The old woman wept, but her tears came too late. Adana was finally freed. Months later, the same woman who was once mocked stood in the village square, a baby tied securely to her back. Her child, her miracle. The woman who once whispered now smiled awkwardly. The same voices that mocked her now said, God has remembered her. But Adana knew better. She had fought for her story. She had walked through fire and came out stronger. And as she passed Mama Obina one day, she paused. The old woman looked smaller now, defeated. Adana spoke quietly. A child is a blessing, Mama, but a wicked heart is a curse. And she walked away. In Omoka, her story became a lesson. Not every barren woman is empty. Some are simply fighting battles no one can see. The end. Thank you for staying on this wonderful channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment on this wonderful channel. Bye. See you guys in my next story. Bye.